Have you ever experienced the transformative power of a voice that transcends the ordinary, leaving an everlasting imprint on the world of opera? Maria Callas, the distinguished Greek-American soprano, did just that. Through her extraordinary talent, mesmerizing performances, and enduring legacy, Callas etched her name in the annals of operatic history, forever altering the landscape of this timeless art form. In today's video, let's explore her life and achievements. Maria Callas, a famous opera singer from Greece, was born in New York on December 2, 1923, and passed away in Paris on September 16, 1977. She became one of the most well-known opera performers in the 20th century. Callas was particularly outstanding in Italian operas from the 19th century, ranging from Rossini to Puccini. She had exceptional artistic talent, musical instincts, and intelligence. Her dominance on stage was natural, and her voice, especially during the 1950s, was remarkable and distinctive. She could adapt her voice to convey different emotions and suit various types of music. Although she was born in the United States to Greek parents who had immigrated there, Callas left for Athens in 1937 at the age of 13. This move occurred because her mother was unhappy with her father's infidelity. In Greece, Maria Callas started her musical education at the age of 13, receiving vocal training from Maria Trivella at the Greek National Conservatory. During this time, her voice transitioned from a lower contralto to that of a soprano. In 1940, Maria Callas started learning to sing from a famous singer named Elvira de Hidalgo at the Athens Conservatory. She was just 18 years old at that time. The singing lessons were based on the Italian bel canto tradition, which means beautiful singing, from the early 19th century. Her teacher Elvira later said that Maria was really amazing. When Maria turned 18, she sang professionally for the first time in an opera called Tosca by Puccini in Athens in August 1942. This was a very important role for her, and she continued to be known for it throughout her career. 2 years after that, in 1944, she performed as Santuzza in Cavalleria Rusticana by Mascagni and as Leonore in Beethoven's Fidelio. During the challenging times of wartime Greece, Maria Callas faced immense difficulties as her mother, in an attempt to cope with the hardships, compelled her to associate with German soldiers for better food and financial support. This strained Maria's already tumultuous relationship with her mother, ultimately leading to a complete breakdown, resulting in no further communication from Maria's end in 1950. By September 1945, at the age of 21, Maria Callas had experienced a remarkable journey. Having endured the adversities of war, she had already performed in 56 shows, showcasing her talent across 7 operas. Maria viewed this period in Greece as the cornerstone of her career. However, it was upon her return to New York that many believe her career truly began to flourish. Callas started her career after the war by singing in Verona under the famous Italian conductor Tullio Serafin. She performed in various cities across Italy, taking on roles in operas like Ponchielli's La Gioconda, Verdi's Aida, Wagner's Tristan and Isolde, Parsifal's Kundry, and the Valkyries' Brunhilde. Tullio Serafin played a significant role in her career, guiding her away from the heavier roles she initially embraced. He encouraged her to explore lighter-voiced Italian works, such as Bellini's I Puritani and Norma, Donizetti's Lucia di Lammermoor and Anna Bolena, and Verdi's La Traviata and Il Trovatore. Callas showcased her talent in Verdi's Violetta and Leonora, as well as Desdemona in Otello, featuring the beautiful Ave Maria from Act 4 and Gilda in Rigoletto. She also graced the stage in Puccini's Tosca, Madame Butterfly, and Gianni Schicchi, which includes the famous aria O mio babbino caro. Apart from mainstream operas, Callas took on the challenge of performing rare and intricate bel canto operas, including Gluck's Alceste, Cherubini's Medea, and Spontini's La Vestale. In the 1950s, she became a star at some of the world's most famous opera houses. Imagine hearing her powerful voice in places like La Scala in Milan, Covent Garden in London, the Lyric Theatre in Chicago, and the Metropolitan Opera in New York. However, her journey in the spotlight wasn't all smooth. There were intense behind-the-scenes conflicts. One major clash happened with Rudolf Bing, the general manager of the Metropolitan Opera. The tension between them was so intense that it turned into a public spectacle. Additionally, she had a well-known rivalry with another leading soprano of the time, Renata Tebaldi. While she dazzled audiences with her incredible talent, she was her own toughest critic. Callas set exceptionally high standards for herself, always pushing to deliver performances that met her rigorous expectations. This commitment to perfection sometimes led her to make difficult choices. She would rather withdraw from a performance than deliver anything less than her absolute best, even if it meant facing contractual consequences and disappointing her fans. In the 1950s, Maria Callas reached the peak of her singing career and commanded high fees, but issues with her voice began to surface. People noticed unevenness in her vocal registers and a pronounced tremolo on high notes. Some theories suggest that a significant weight loss around 1953 to 54 or inadequate training might have contributed to her vocal difficulties. Certainly, there were challenges, yet when you listen to two of Maria Callas's iconic performances, Casta Diva from Bellini's Norma and Tosca from 1965, the only existing footage of a Callas role, you can't help but be moved by the emotional intensity of her acting and singing combined. Despite the vocal problems she faced, Callas's artistry continued to shine through. Her interpretation of roles showcased a unique blend of dramatic expression and musical prowess. The emotional depth she brought to characters like Norma and Tosca was unparalleled, transcending the technical issues she encountered. During the 1960s, Maria Callas gradually stepped back from performing in operas. This shift was likely due to challenges with her singing voice and shifts in her personal life. By July 1965, she took her final bow on the operatic stage, playing the role of Tosca at Covent Garden. It's noteworthy that at just 41 years old, an age when many sopranos typically shine in their careers, Callas made this poignant farewell. Her decision to withdraw may have been influenced by vocal issues she was experiencing and changes in her personal circumstances. In the later part of the 1950s, Maria Callas got involved in a romantic relationship with Aristotle Onassis, a wealthy Greek businessman, even though she was still married to her husband, Giovanni Battista Meneghini. This love affair between Callas and Onassis became widely known and talked about during that time. Interestingly, even after Onassis married Jacqueline Kennedy, the widow of President John F. Kennedy, he continued to regularly meet with Maria Callas. Some people believe that Maria Callas might have seen her involvement with Onassis as a potential solution to the challenges she was facing in her career. Perhaps she hoped that their relationship would lead to marriage and offer her a way out of the difficulties she was experiencing professionally. Following Onassis's permanent departure, Callas tried to rejuvenate her career by teaching master classes at the Juilliard School in New York. Additionally, in 1973 and 1974, she engaged in a series of international joint recitals with Giuseppe Di Stefano, a tenor she had frequently collaborated with during her prime. Despite the artistic imperfections in these sold-out recitals, as both singers were past their prime, they resonated profoundly with the public. The audience, unable to forget the enchantment of Callas, embraced the performances wholeheartedly. However, after the last recital in November 1974, Callas chose seclusion, retreating from the public eye. She settled into a solitary life in her Paris apartment, intentionally limiting her interactions with others. In September 1977, Maria Callas had a heart attack that led to her unfortunate death. Her body was turned into ashes through cremation, and these ashes were placed in Père Lachaise Cemetery. Later on, someone stole her ashes, but they were recovered. Following her wish, her ashes were scattered over the Aegean Sea in the spring of 1979. Even after her passing, Maria Callas continued to captivate audiences, almost like she was still performing on a grand stage. More than a century after her birth, the fascination with Maria Callas, as both an artist and a woman, remains strong. Numerous biographies and film documentaries, such as Maria by Callas, 2018, directed by Tom Wolfe, and Maria, 2024, directed by Pablo Larraín, delve into her life. Her recordings, both official and pirated, continue to sell in vast numbers. Additionally, she remains a focal point in stage plays and operatic events, like Marina Abramovich's 7 Deaths of Maria Callas, which debuted in the UK as part of the English National Opera's 2023-24 season. So Maria Callas's life was a testament to unparalleled artistry and dedication. From her early years in New York to international acclaim on opera stages, she showcased remarkable vocal prowess. Her legacy endures in the annals of opera, influencing generations with her emotive performances. If you enjoyed this content, consider subscribing to our channel for more insightful explorations of influential figures and timeless contributions to the arts.